And one certain period, I thought that traveling, like sleeping in the bus, it holds like 1 hour in the traffic. So I took the bike. So will extra 1 hour or half an hour I'll do practice and I'll travel to bike. So I can reach before 8:30. I have to keep fingerprint before 8:30. I did all those things, and evening the plan for taking the bike is evening I can ride from my college to swimming pool. It's about 55 kilometers.
Hmm.
So I can do practice 2 hours there.
Hmm.
And again I have to come back. I'll reach at home by 8:30. I didn't finish in cutoff timing.
Hmm.
But last 2 kilometers, everybody, a volunteer came to me and they said, we are going to wind up your DNF. Yes, I'm pretty happy with that, because the next month I have the full iron, because I'm practicing for full iron.
Hmm.
Even if you didn't give medal, doesn't matter. I wanted to finish this event.
Right.
Because that Hyderabad course is really very tough.
Hmm.
Rolling terrain for cycling. Cycling I could manage, swimming and cycling. Running is also the same thing.
Right.
So 32 kilometers is not possible for me to go for the. It's like hill.
Yeah,
Totally, it's
yeah,
not rolling in running.
yeah.
It's horrible for me, but I want to finish this event.
Right.
And finally, everybody was waiting there, and they clapped me till I finished, because I'm the one woman who participated in 3x4, and 9 men were registered for that event. Only 4 were completed. The whole night I was thinking, why I worried about this podium? 14 years, I can't even run. I can't even do this fitness. But I can able to do half iron. So why should I worried about this podium?
Hmm.
So I can do anything after this. So
Right.
at that moment, I stopped thinking about podium.
Okay.
I wanted to achieve so many things. This
Right.
podium, or comparing with some athletes or everything, I can't do anything. That moment I realized, and even now I'm not comparing with anyone.
I am Baiki Venki, and this is the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, time management, and lifestyle advice. If this is something that interests you, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future episodes. Today's guest is an inspiration to many women all around India. She was an athletic kid who won medals at national level until higher studies put them at the back burner. An M.Tech graduate and an assistant professor, she picked up sport to lose weight after the birth of her son. But little did she know that it will alter the course of her life. She completed 3 Ironman events and multiple half Ironman events. She gave up her job as a lecturer and became an Ironman certified triathlon coach, helping others push their limits in swimming, running, cycling with TriLeeCoaching. Her name is Vinolee Ramalingam. Welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast, Vinolee. It's great having you on the show.
Thank you so much, Coach, for inviting me.
Okay, let us start by talking a little bit about TriLeeCoaching. What's your what are you what is your coaching philosophy, and how did it come about?
Okay. Trilee coaching, our motto is like, we want to bring the triathletes, whoever wants to do triathlon, because I started with zero background, like starting my career from the school kids, and after 14 years gap, I started this. I choose this as a career triathlon. So I know that anyone can do this triathlon. So that is the motto. Whoever have the dream to become an Ironman, we are ready to
Enable
bring
them.
you. Yes, enable you.
Great. So let us start a little bit by talking about your childhood. I read that you were quite an athletic kid, as in so how did it start?
Yeah, my journey was started from, I think, like from UKG standard, because I was fear of water. Normally I don't go to take bath. I had fear of water. That's what my mom told me. Once my dad got a job as an athletic coach in Tanjavur, so he immediately sent me through swimming pool, because I need to I mean, we fear from the swimming. So I just enter into the pool, and I just enjoying myself through walking and looking at others how they were swimming. And I started myself kicking and gliding. And then a coach saw me that I was interested doing all those things. Then he taught me the basic sessions for 2 years, like first standard and second standard. Then I had my brother, and he was doing like a state medalist, and he went to national also. So I don't have any target at the time. He taught me some different stroke, that is normal basic stroke is like freestyle. So he taught me another stroke, breaststroke. And that was my main I choose that is the main event. And I think near about fourth standard, I participated in state. I don't know how to diving. I don't know the techniques. Just my coach allowed me to participate in state level. But with with that, I just I mean, finished my first event, and got gold medal in that event, breaststroke, only breaststroke. So once I got the medal in the breaststroke, freestyle I didn't. I came like fourth or fifth. So I choose this event is going to be my main event. So I focused only one event. And from town, from Tanjavur, we attended state level in Chennai. And I'm been seeing lot of Chennai people are doing a different like butterfly, backstroke, lot of events. In one age category, they were doing like 7 to 8 events, but I was doing only one event. My target is to keep the, I mean, to do the best, and I want to break the records. That is my target from the childhood.
Mhm.
So from there I started my swimming journey. Like till 10th standard I was doing that. And in between I changed my school from 6th standard. So I forced to learn about the basketball, because it's a teamwork.
Mhm.
For school events I need to learn the basketball. And dad was athletic coach. So in from swimming background, we do all the basic fundamental practice were there. And I do long endurance run, like 1500 meters, 2000 meters. So athletics is also a strong for me. From 8th standard I was concentrating more on athletics, 100
Mhm.
200 events.
Okay.
So like school states I got medal in 100 200, and basketball we came runner up. So I was doing like swimming, athletics, and basketball. I was handling all these three at the period of time.
Okay.
And at 11th standard and 12th standard I was in peak, my more concentration, and like in athletics as well as in basketball, because there was clash between athletics and basketball state meet
Mhm.
and nationals also.
Okay.
So either I need to choose athletics or basketball.
Okay.
So with my dad decisions, I decided to go for athletics, not for the basket, because it's a team event. So we can't shine. Apart from that, lot of politics will be there.
Mm.
So okay, unfortunately, I was doing good in athletics also. 100, I got third place, and 4 into 100 meters first place. So and again, basketball secretary was the association were calling me for missed out some junior event and senior nationals also. They called me again for youth and again junior and national games also. I was in the probles I was attending. But at the 12th standard, like just 2 months to go for my public exam. So definitely I have to quit those camp, basketball camp, because I'm if I'm in Chennai, probably I could have attended all these camps and I can go to the school, I can learn all those things. From Tanjavur, I need to stay for more than 20 days in the camp.
Mm.
So obviously I need to quit all those things, so I missed the opportunity in basketball.
Okay.
This is how. And finally, after high study, I mean 12th standard, my dad, I don't know what to decide. I wanted to perform in sports, so because I was achieving something, improving myself, because the college period is the main thing what we want to achieve. Either if we are achieving high level, we can qualify for Asia, something like that. So
Mm.
we need to do at least open category is the college period. So my dad gave me both the field, either studies. If you're going into studies, these are the positives. If you're going for the sports, these are the positive and negative. He confused me, and unfortunately I joined in college. That's how my school career.
Okay. So by giving you like both cons and advantages,
Pros and
the
cons.
pros and cons, he thoroughly confused you more, is it?
Yeah, because he got national award in a decathlon event in athletics.
Hmm.
So his background is from the village, and he himself motivated himself, and he attended a lot of events, and he got national award. And he studied in Gwalior NIS, and from Maharashtra team only he got this national award. So
Mm.
he knows all the pros and cons, and he was telling that as he's working as a government office, so he can't come through all my events. So
Mm.
this is what he focused and told me. If and Unfortunately I have to decide, this is the career, engineering career.
Right.
So
Yeah. So you had a so your dad was a coach, and that coaching pedigree is there there also, and although you kind of moved towards studies, that base is there in terms of what it takes for an athlete to do well. Right from the childhood you had that discipline and dedication to focus on a set schedule and improve on whatever discipline you chose. You did well in athletics, you did well in basketball and all these things, but
I,
eventually when it came to the that crucial junction is you decided to move towards education
yes.
and focus on that. Okay.
Even in childhood, my dad used to say, he asked me to balance studies as well as sports.
Hmm.
So he will not allow me to cut all the classes. Even I went through all these three discipline events. Whatever maybe I have to go to school, you sleep there, you listen the class. He used to insist me. And that is the motivation he gave me, because education is also very important.
Hmm.
Whoever it is, even when he trained to some other students, many students, are you clear 10th standard, are you finished your 12th standard? So education is also very important when you achieve in top level. So that is your success period. If you are not achieving in that period, so what will be your future? So education will give you your future. So this is how he even taught to me, to everybody else.
Yeah, that is an very very important thing, right? So nowadays you see kids that will say, okay, I want to focus on sports. Yes, you focus on sports, but don't neglect the education. You have to
Yes.
make sure that your education is continuing, and especially in sport like cycling, right? You don't you It is impossible to make ends meet just through cycling. You got to be able to do something else. Even at pro level, people are going, so they have very short careers, and they should be able to have a backup career once they retire. So, and you see that even at the pro level. So unless you have that education background, so that you can do something other than sport, it is really very tough. And that being a coach, I think your dad was also very clear and had his priorities right. So that is great. So how did life change once you took that path? Once you stopped competing?
Oh, after this, when I joined in college, the because it was different scenario because I'm staying in hostel, new friends, and I was searching for the ground because MIT, Madras Institute of Technology, I've joined. So the ground is I need to move to 3 kilometers. I'm searching for the ground. Initially, I did the first things, and I bit angry with my father, and as well as I was depressed. Inside, I was depressed, but I'm happy that I have joined in new college something okay. Even though if we studied in engineering college, we can do something, we can do something in the sports. That's what in my mind. But a lot of exams, cycle tests, university exam. So I do fitness. I did so many things for university levels, but athletics I just dropped because all fitness gone. Just I do like play basketballs, engineering tournaments, inter the engineering tournaments, university level I played. So that's it. The 4 years was like that, and in between my brother passed away, so
Hmm.
a lot of happened in my family.
Hmm.
So the moment which I was not with my father and mother because I had a university exam and everything. So
Hmm.
I decided that I need to be with my parents after completing my BE. So that's how I pursue my M.Tech in Tanjore itself, Sastra University. I didn't go for any further. Decided to go to job or something. I want to be with them at least to take care of them. So that's how the 2 years went. And again, when I'm searching for the job, I attended a lot of interviews in Bangalore because I studied embedded system. So
Hmm.
all the major things happen in Pune and Bangalore.
Hmm.
So they are not happy with that. So my father told me that you can join here as a lecturer, so you be with us and everything. He told me that he will purchase some car for me. You can go drive car and you can be peaceful here. He told me, okay, fine. So I want to be make happy for my parents. I want to live for them.
Hmm.
So I decided to join lecturer in that college for 2 years, I think,
Hmm.
2 years. Then I got married, and and I moved to Chennai. But since I moved Chennai, my mom with me after got conceived, she was with me throughout, and she took care of me because she suffered a lot when she conceived and when during
Hmm.
the birth at the
Right.
period of.
Yeah.
So he took care of me. That time I was working in Hindustan University as an assistant professor,
Hmm.
and after giving birth I resigned my job because I don't want to give burden to my mom because she's also not well at the time. After seeing my son only, they both were happy because they thought that they got the son again. So they cared a lot of and and again I just this is not life. Again I have to move on to the next job, so I was searching for the job, and unfortunately I got the appointment in SRM University as an assistant professor with good pay.
Hmm.
And that I was quite interesting because I'm not going to pursue. I never thought that I will do continue with the sports. So this is my career. I want to do something. I want to achieve something. I do a lot of publications. I did so many things, and I started pursuing PhD also.
Hmm.
And I published one paper in I think wireless. I forgot that WPC,
Yeah.
wireless personal communication.
Uh,
So another, if I publish another 1 or 2 papers, definitely I could have finished my thesis. That
hmm.
that period, I don't know what happened to me. Suddenly, my weight was increased. Like I was like 82.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like lot of stress work also happened in the college, so I just wanted to reduce my weight. I was thinking this achievement is okay, pursuing PhD research. What is next?
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not I want to achieve something great like others. I don't know what I was searching. This is one part, but other apart from this I want to do something. That is what have gone through in my mind. So
Hmm.
to relieve the stress I just wanted to do fitness again. And I were discussing with my husband. Let's start with the swimming. Swimming is always the stress buster. All your mind, everything will be peaceful. You can, because I felt that, because as a childhood I was doing swimming, so swimming will gives you a lot of happiness and everything. I
Right.
told him, okay, let's start with the swimming, and he showed me one post, that is Peter Wen Chennai Trekking Club post,
Hmm.
that open water Ottiambakam Lake.
Hmm.
I was shocked, and that lake photos sparked me that I want to do swimming there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like they conducted 2 sessions. I never gone through all these Facebooks and etc.
Hmm.
Like one Sunday we went there. I was looking at everybody else. They were swimming. I know that rope is there. I saw in the photo it was mentioned like rope is there. It is safety and everything. And it is like 151 lap, and up and down it is 300 meters.
Hmm.
So and on the night I decided I have to complete the 300 meters. I don't
Right.
know. I left the swimming like long back.
Right.
So 300 meters is going to be challenge. I myself kept the challenge. Oh, I should not touch any rope. Whatever it is, 300 meters I need to complete. So in that we went there. Everybody were, lot of people were swimming around there. So I don't have a costume also, just 3 by 4 pant and t-shirt, not even cap, goggles. I just jumped into the lake. I was happy. That is my first open water swimming.
Hmm.
So I completed 300 meters, and if, in and around they were looking at me, ma'am, are you? This is the first time you are doing? Yes, this is the first time I'm doing. I was talking with them, and they were really shocked because they were moving like 50 meters and coming back again. And I did like 4 to 5 laps, and I was happy. If you see my face, that I'm the happiest man in the world. I was thinking in that way. And after coming up, everybody was discussing with the phone that I'm going to do sprint Olympic. What is, I know triathlon because when I was doing swimming, I know Amuda, who from India. She's Tamil Nadu, and she completed, I mean, she's the first woman who complete Asia meet. She came
Hmm.
first, I think so. So I know what is triathlon. I was interested on during that period because our age group friends who were in Chennai, they were doing this triathlon event. No,
Hmm.
I can't do because I have to travel. I need to get permission from that. I need to explain all those things.
Hmm.
So he always choose the best and particular events for me, and that's how I went through the plan. I was interested. So I asked my husband, these some events were going, they're discussing on it. When I asked them, they told me you just go to the website and check all these things and you can register.
Hmm.
So immediately I checked those events. I read all sprint, Olympic, half iron, and initially I didn't go to the half iron or Olympic. I just saw the sprint because 750 meter swim, 20 kilometer cycle, 5 kilometers run.
Hmm.
Okay, let's start practicing with this. My husband told me just do practice. If it everything goes well, we'll do registration. Okay, I don't have cycle. I don't know what kind of cycle I have to use because in school days we have like Herculean cycle, the school cycle. I rode district wise and state level also. In state level, they have given a big Herculean cycle. I was riding that. I came fourth also. So I know these kind of cycles only I know, but I don't know what is hybrid, what is MTB, what is Jodi. And people were there after doing swimming, they were riding the cycle. And my husband told me that one of our friend is having this hybrid cycle. Let's ask him. So we asked about, can you give me 1 day to ride the cycle? He said me, the cycle is I'm not riding anyway. You just have the cycle, you do practice. Okay,
Okay.
fine. I got the cycle. I started riding 20 kilometers from my home to Cholinalo, 10 10 up and down. I was happy. Okay, swimming 750. Normally, I am doing that. Okay, running is the problem. 5 kilometers. I was thinking 5 kilometers. I was a sprinter. Initially, I ran like 1,500 meters, 2,000, but now I put on weight, so I don't know how does it works. My husband morning he wake me and he'll ask me to walk, jog. He only taught me again like a spoon feeding for me to run. I started like walk, jog, walk, jog. Like 3 kilometers, I completed 30 minutes or something.
Okay. When was this?
Okay, This is March 2016. I started at the period of time.
Okay,
March
March
2016.
2016. What was your weight around that time?
82.
82. Okay. Yeah.
I got all the pains as in and on. I don't know what is ITB also. I
Uh,
got the pain there. All these knees, ankle pain, all your leg pain. If you do swimming, automatically you'll be relaxed. That I
mm,
know that.
right.
So all if I will do lot of kick session there. Whenever I'm getting a lot of pains in the knees, ITB and
Mm-hmm.
all. Okay, I was running 3 kilometers. I decided to register seven sprint category.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 week I was practicing this, and the next week I was doing like swimming, like 1 hour I was continuously doing all my drill sessions and everything.
Mm.
And people who saw me there, why don't you register for Olympic?
Mm.
Okay, Olympic is 1.5 kilometers. I'm normal, I'm doing 2 kilometers swimming. 40 kilometers cycle. Okay, already I'm doing 20 kilometers. I can do 40 kilometers.
Right.
The problem is 10 kilometers run. Okay, now 3 kilometers. Let's increase for 6 kilometers. This is what our target.
Right.
Started practicing for entire month. That is, I think March or April in between. I was doing for Olympic category. I was happy with that.
Mm.
And again, one of my friend Ahmed, who's in CTC, he told me that you're doing good in swimming. You're normally are doing 2.5 kilometers 1 hour or 1.5 hours practice session. So you can do half IM. Already you're doing 40 kilometers. It is easy to do 90 kilometers. I'm asking question. Okay, cycle is fine. What about running 21 kilometers?
Right.
It's not possible for me. I know I'm running 6 kilometers is more than 1 hour I'm doing.
Yeah.
I can't do it. He told me like you have enough time. June I had even this
Mm-hmm.
event. So March, April, May is there. So you can do practice. All he's giving instruction. Okay, let me decide. First I complete my cycling.
Mm.
Then I'll gradually increase from 10, 12 kilometers. Let's see. And I went to native Tanjavur, and I took the hybrid cycle there. And that the highways, the entire highways was peaceful. So I was riding like up to 80 kilometers.
Mm.
I completed around like 4 hours something, 4 hours or 4:15. I don't remember that, but
Mm.
I'm so happy. Okay, I completed my half a distance swimming and cycling. Running is a big challenge again for me, because even if I run more than an hour, I used to get a lot of neck pain, back pain, and knee pain. All those things. My body doesn't support me. I
Right.
can't run continuous even 1 or 2 kilometers. I can go with walk or jog.
Mm.
Slowly started increasing 10 kilometers, 12 kilometers. That is the maximum I did.
Mm.
He told me that if you complete all these things, you can walk, jog, and you can finish it. The cutoff timing is like 9 hours or 9.5 something.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I decided, okay, I'll work hard in this for doing a half am. And when I started checking to register, the registration was closed for half am, and only sprint was there.
Okay.
Then I was discussing with Ahmad. He told me that, okay, I'll talk with Peter. He was not there at the time. When he spoke to him, he told me that ask her to do 21 kilometers in 2.5 hours. I'll
Mm.
allow her to register. It is not possible. I can run 21, I can complete the event, but I can't do 2.5 hours. And okay, luckily I got Dawn and Dusk Marathon event. Unfortunately, it happened there. So I registered whatever it is there. I'll complete the 21 kilometers. I was practicing up to 12 kilometers only. So everybody was running and walking. Okay, it's but because I'm not enjoying. If I complete this 21 only, Peter will allow me to register for half time. That is my goal. So I completed around 3 hours, 10 minutes something. That is my biggest achievement. I was so happy. Immediately I text to Peter, Peter, I completed this 21 in this hour. So I wanted to register. And he told me that I wanted to check your swim strokes and everything. He came to OTM Bakam Lake, and he saw me how I'm swimming and everything. And he said that you can register. On spot registration is there for me. I think it is 10 or 1 week, or I don't remember, but very short period of time, he gave me the chance, and I have registered on that day. And everybody was telling me that you will get podium, you will get podium. Ah, okay, I'll get podium. But my target is I'll get first, second, or third, at least third. Normally, as a sports background, we want to win the medal, because after long years gap, I started participating in competition events. So I want to win. That is
Right.
the goal. That is the target. So I registered, and I'm so happy. I think in June 2016, I did my half iron, completed my half iron. But in swimming, I was the first. Cycling, like I took 4 hours, 15 minutes something. Running, everybody was catching me slowly, because I couldn't do. I do brick session. I did lot of things, but even though the 21 kilometers, last 5 kilometers first, who got me, who came first, he catched me, and then 2 kilometers, last 501 kilometers, I came fourth.
Okay.
Everyone was shocked that I completed this event within a short period of time, but I was not happy, because at the time my husband was not feeling sick. If he is with me, definitely I could have done better. That is what in my mind. I was angry with him. My mom was supporting a lot. Even I'm not happy with how my mom came and he's encouraging throughout the night, but I'm not happy because I missed out my podium.
Mm.
That is what in my mind. And finally, I didn't sleep the whole night. I was thinking, why I worried about this podium? 14 years, I can't even run. I can't even do this fitness. But I can able to do half iron. So why should I worried about this podium? So I
Mm.
can do anything after this.
Right.
So at that moment, I stopped thinking about podium.
Okay.
I wanted to achieve so many things. This
Right.
podium or comparing with some athletes or everything, I can't do anything. That moment I realized, and even now I'm not comparing with anyone.
Mm.
Maybe that would be my success, not everybody else. That's
Yeah.
my success.
Yeah, it is. See, you got to look at the positives, right? You have to see, from not being able to do anything, being caught up with work and life, everything, and uh, with the health declining. uh, from that stage, you were able to put one step ahead of the other and were able to move. You were able to, from not being able to walk continuously or jog continuously, you were able to complete 21 kilometers. After swimming and cycling 90
Right.
kilometers, you were able to run 21 kilometers. So that itself is a huge win. But then when you look at something that instead of looking at something you have, like you being able to do all this, and look at something that you don't have, which is standing on the podium, it is not going to be a pleasant experience. But
Yes.
glad that you realized that even in the, immediately after your first event, and taken that mentality of giving it your best and leaving the results, because results are not in your control, but the effort you put in is definitely in your control, right? So
Yes.
excellent. So that was your first half iron
Yeah.
distance,
Half iron
and
distance.
that was the lesson you learned from that you got
Yes.
to give your best and not worry about the results.
Yes.
And that is the philosophy you keep working with even today. But you have, subsequently done like 3 Ironman events. What was the toughest of them all, and what are the things that you learned from that?
Yeah, I should tell that the toughest one is my first event is my tough. All three will be different experience.
Hmm.
So the first one is like the cutoff timing in Ironman Barcelona is 15 hours 40 minutes
Hmm.
in Ironman races.
Hmm.
But I completed in CTC. I completed full iron in 16 hours 50 minutes in December 2016 itself.
Hmm.
So all I decided
In the
once I
first year
complete.
itself.
Yeah, March 2000, June 2016 is my half Iron. October is 3 by 4 Hyderabad event I completed. I didn't finish in cutoff timing.
Hmm.
But last 2 kilometers, everybody, a volunteer came to me and they said, we are going to wind up your DNF. Yes, I'm pretty happy with that, because the next month I have the full iron, because I'm practicing for full iron.
Hmm.
Even if you didn't give medal, doesn't matter. I wanted to finish this event,
Right.
because that Hyderabad course is really very tough.
Hmm.
Rolling terrain for cycling. Cycling I could manage, swimming and cycling. Running is also the same thing.
Right.
So 32 kilometers is not possible for me to go for the. It's like hill.
Yeah.
Totally, it's
Yeah.
not rolling in running.
Yeah.
It's horrible for me, but I want to finish this event.
Right.
And finally, everybody was waiting there, and they clapped me till I finished, because I'm the one woman who participated in 3 by 4, and 9 men were registered for that event. Only 4 were completed. All they were DNF. They stopped in cycling and they
Hmm.
stopped in between running.
Right.
My mind is, I want to finish this event. I
Hmm.
finished, and finally they gave me the medal, but the result, it was DNF.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I was practicing for full iron.
Full. Right.
But when I what was in my mind is, I want to complete in 17 hours. International cutoff timing is 17 hours.
Hmm.
So this full iron target is not for podium, only to do
Complete it.
complete sub 17 hours. So I
Right.
did 16 hours 50. That
Hmm.
is bigger such. I came second, but I'm pretty happy with 16 hours 50.
Right.
And when we check for the international, now everybody knows what is Ironman. What at that time I don't know what is Ironman 70 point. What is the meaning for 70.3? What is 140.6? I don't know really. Really, I'm seriously telling, coach. I really don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to register for international event. I
Right.
asked Ashwin, the two men were doing in Chennai, mostly in India, they were doing couple of Ironman events.
Hmm.
Rahul and Ashwin. Ashwin was at that time, I was asking about how to register for Ironman. He said me, go to Ironman website
Hmm.
and read all the courses. What is courses?
Yeah.
Okay. He told me that swim, bike, everything. You put an Excel sheet, first travel, budget, accommodation, everything. Swimming, whether it is a lake or it is a river, a river or sea.
Hmm.
What is the temperature? What is the elevation for the bike? What is elevation? I don't know what is it. Only when I did Hyderabad, I know the elevation.
Right.
Until then, I don't know. So elevation and running and cut off everything. He asked to prepare the Excel sheet and asked me to design. Okay, I was gone through all the courses, and when making all them, I gave the important things, travel, accommodation to my husband. Courses I was gone through. Whatever I'm choosing, the registration was closed. Registration was closed. Everything was closed. I need to go to December month. Otherwise, I started from immediately after my full iron. December, Jan, Feb.
Hmm.
3 months it took time for me to choose what event I want to design.
Right.
Even Barcelona event also closed, but they have given some options to pay extra amount and you can register.
Hmm.
Okay, my husband told me, we checked all everything, elevation was there, whatever the period open, the courses are open. So the one course, it's flat course is written as Ironman Barcelona.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go with this. But if I check the timing, cutoff timing is 15 hours 40 minutes. I'm asking, how can I finish it in within 4 months? Because I don't have time. September, I think 5 months I had time.
Hmm.
He was telling, take it as challenge. This one event you can do in flat course.
Hmm.
So took a challenge and do it. Okay, half minded I registered for the event, because I'm not sure 1 hour, 1.5 hours I need to reduce my time. Is it possible for me? I asked myself, because I was working. I need to prepare the slot, because throughout the event it is all my own training. I
Right.
didn't go with any coaches.
Right.
So I need some coach. So at that time, John Moses helped me, that he was training in Australia. So Xavier is there. Okay, whoever it is at that time, Yoshka or Rad Strong, they were there. But at the peak of time they started, and I couldn't communicate with them in properly. Only in social media I had to text and the messenger, and it has to send. It took lot of time for me.
Hmm.
So I choose Australian coach with the proper schedule. Whatever he gave me, I did all those things, and I completed in 14 hours 53.
Mm-hmm. 14 hours
Cycling,
53.
53.
Nice.
At, but when I went to Barcelona, before 3 days only we went there, and we don't know what is wet. We know wetsuit. In the
Hmm.
course I have written it's a wetsuit, but in India at the time there is no wetsuit available.
Hmm.
Where I went there, I was checking the wetsuit. If I buy, I have to pay a lot of dollars,
Right.
and we can get and we can return back it. So it doesn't fit to me. My Even though I've reduced few weights, it doesn't fit to me. Whatever it is, I just wore it. I tried 2 3 times, like half an hour swim practice. That's it.
Hmm.
It is horrible for me because new type of wetsuit. I didn't even practice. I just practiced few strokes. That's it. Because I need to check my bike course also. When I
Right.
started bike course, I got punctured.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know how to change. I know last moment I learned all those things. I tried myself and I reached again. I didn't go for the course. I again returned back to hotel, and again I tried myself. I learning process was happened on the
Right.
time. And again I went to the course. Few kilometers I went. When I saw that they were rolling terrain was there, I was asking to my husband, "You told me that it is a flat course. I read it is a flat course, but it is like Hyderabad. Even it was like elevation." Oh, I was like, I don't know what to do because I had only 2 days time.
You don't have
Okay,
enough time to flatten those hills.
okay. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm ready. From where I came here, I spent a lot of money. I wanted to perform here. As I trust my training. That's it.
Hmm.
Whatever he taught me, I'll do. I'll perform well. That is what in my mind. Running was going, practicing in that beach side and everything. And we don't know after, before they we have to keep the bike in the transition. I don't know how to keep everything. I know the bib number. I never experienced in CTC also, because we rack some places and we took easily.
Hmm.
This is entirely different. Ashwin was also on that day, and I asked how to keep the rack, because I was looking at all the bikes. Pro bike was there.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was looking and I kept, and all the pro bikers were removing the air in the tire. I don't know whether I want to remove it or whatever it is there. I asked Ashwin. He told me that if you want to remove it in the morning, you can pump your air. Okay, I decided by myself, and I gone through it and successfully completed my event, because cycle course went good, because like even though the terrain is there initial few 20 kilometers, then it is going to be a flat course. One side is totally headwind and one side is tailwind.
Hmm.
So I did like 6 hours 46 minutes. I
Okay.
was pretty happy with my bike.
Nice.
Running, I know that I can't do the best,
Right.
because I was wearing my kneecap and everything. So the first event is also is a challenging for me, that
Hmm.
cutoff timing.
Right.
And the most challenging is Ironman Cairns in 2019. That
Oh,
you know that
right. Right. Right.
the course is really like, what do I say? My weakness is hill,
Hmm. Hmm.
and my weakness is wind.
Right.
And I never realized that my weakness is swimming also. Only in the cage it taught me that I'm a weak mind,
Uh,
because when we immediate I was doing practice, we went earlier, 1 week before I was
hmm.
doing practice in the wind. Everything was pretty good at the time. We are not supposed to allowed to do swim in canes. Only
Hmm.
during the event few minutes they will allow us to do, because there is a we can expect salty crocodile or shark, anything else.
Ooh. Okay.
It is not safer side. We
Hmm.
went 3 days before to the swim course, and I'm looking at the swim. See, it is like choppy, rough. To even European triathletes are not entering.
Hmm.
They were holding like they were going with the groupism, like 2 3, they're holding their hand, and they were, because the first 300 meters waves are literally high. But
Very,
my
very
mind,
choppy.
I was blocked.
Hmm.
I'm not entering into the pool, sea. My husband was I was just sitting and watching all the triathletes and the sea waves. I was crying. My husband told me, he told me that you just leave this place, we leave to India, you need not to participate. You have done almost 2 Ironmans, and in India you done another 2 full Iron, but I don't know why you're sitting like this. I can't see you like this, he told me like in that way. And he's angry, and he went through. I was holding, I was searching for some women triathletes who will come with me or something. And one, luckily one European, I think Spain triathletes came with me. She's like 45 years old, she's doing 70.3. She asked me that, are you doing 70.3? Because I was fear. No, I'm going to do Ironman, full Ironman. Oh, you're going to do full Ironman, but look at your face and your mind. You have to be very strong. She's advising me in that way. And second day I went there. I started practicing with some confident level. Third day also I went there. Like we can't go even we can't do practice for 100 meters. It is not allowed.
Right.
They have some flag, and we need to go only 50 meters. So I was just practicing 50 meters up and down.
Hmm.
So somehow I got confident that I can complete swim. And I was doing a lot of meditation during the bike event time. um, Bike course is like, rolling is there, not like Barcelona, it was
Hmm.
like good.
Yeah.
But all, I thought one session, one loop will be like headwind, another will be at least slightly, I'll get, not even tail, at least there will not be a headwind. Both the laps are like headwind, crosswind. First 90 kilometers I can manage in 29 or 28. The
Hmm.
next, I was drinking energy drink, I don't want to dehydrate myself, but climate was literally was very bad. It was
Hmm.
drizzling, and I didn't practice in that climate. As we are in India, we
Yeah.
didn't practice like that. So the next night 45 kilometers, the wind is like 30 kilometers per hour speed.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought that I can't do my best, because this event, uh, I wanted to give my best timing
Right.
from Barcelona, but I couldn't do it. But at least in run session, run also, I keep on practicing for doing good match with the bike.
Hmm.
But I ate some banana in between, something, I got loose motion, I don't know what happened. I was searching for the toilets, and it took like 20 minutes, like 40 minutes I wasted that my time there.
Hmm.
Then uh, I survived and finally completed.
Yeah.
But
Within cutoff.
yeah,
Right.
like 15 hours 23 minutes I completed. But
Hmm.
the lesson I learned is not to fear in water. I'm not and the wind, hill, this is the weakest part, means I want to get into the strong. That
Right.
taught me in Cairns,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
made me strong in completing world championship also.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Every challenge teaches you something, right? You, despite all that, fear, despite all the apprehension about the choppy waters, about the very tough wind conditions, and all that, upset tummy during the run, despite all that, you were able to complete, and complete in, not too much of a time the difference from your Ironman, as
Yeah,
Barcelona time as well. And you took away those lessons, very important lessons, that it is uh, equally important for your to prepare yourself mentally, right?
yes,
So not be overwhelmed by the conditions. That is very, very important. The mental side of things are equally important to prepare for. If you go into that event in a very positive note, and being prepared mentally to tackle whatever be the situation, tackle it, get over it, and give your best. That is those are very important lessons that you took away from that. I had the good fortune of working with you for an year or more, slightly more than a year,
More
right?
than a
More than a year. So I know how the very nice thing that I noticed about you is that you are very coachable, and you, if there is something that is given, you would go out there and make it happen. Be whatever be the conditions. I remember a time when you guys had to go, like, drive like 300 kilometers to find hills and do hill
yeah,
repeats on them.
yes,
Yeah, right before the
yeah,
Nice
yes,
70.3 world championships. You guys, your husband and you are, I mean, I'm really really impressed by you guys, because he does everything that he can to make things happen for you, and you also give your best to get things done. And the biggest cheerleader you have is also your son, who is always
yes,
there with you. I kind of really envy your team, because I admire the tenacity you possess, and the Vinesh, the biggest cheerleader you have. You guys are an awesome team, right? And the way you make everything take those make every effort to make things happen is very very commendable. And you came down to Nandi Hills as well to
Nandi Hill,
uh, prepare for these climbs.
climbs.
That shows the commitment you have for the sport, and the commitment you have for improving yourself. And I'm sure that is what you are going to teach your trainees as well, with all that dedication. Hats off. So uh, you you have done a few 70.3 events as well,
Yes, yes,
right? So how do you compare the full iron versus the 70.3 events, and
yeah.
how different is your training for those?
Yes, after completing my Barcelona and Italy in 2018, and we decided that in we just checked all the Ironman 70.3 also, but I never thought that I'll do 70.3. But in Colombo, there were the options, like they gave us extra 25 slots for the women to qualify for World Championship.
Hmm.
That is pretty good opportunity for every woman who were pursuing this Ironman. So
Right.
okay, we decided that 70.3. We know the we analysis, as we both, me and husband, analysis the course, and and registration, because if we came in the top 5, definitely we will get the world championship, because extra 25 slots will help you there. So we decided, and at that time we were discussing that you were my bike coach, right? So you told me that the course is like 15 kilometers. So we have to do the loop. We did loop practice in the early morning sessions.
Right.
So you taught me to do the exact what course is there. So we implemented there, and I just we work with that. And in practice, at least I did like 29 or 30 something. I was asking you whether I can do like sub 3 hours or something. You gave me that positive energy. Definitely you can do sub 3 hours. I never did in practice also, like I was like doing 29. In running also I was doing lot of interval sessions. I never did so interval sessions up to 2018. Even in a bike or in a bike little bit I have done, but running my body doesn't support. Even a two after 2 hours also my body doesn't support, even my mind will never work out. And a long ride also, even 4 hours I'll be very tired. I was thinking about the speed, so I'll lose the 4 hours and 5 hours also. That's how I missed out in the Cairns also.
Mm.
In Italy also I missed out those things. Endure that's how my body supports. I know that I can't push beyond that. And we like Colombo, I was ready with the plan of 21 kilometers I can do in 2.5 hours, because that's how my practice session also there. So we went there, and as per the what we discussed, the bike course went like 30.5 something I did
Yeah, yeah.
speed. And running, I think it is too humidity. And I one of my leg, my calf muscles got swelled, like one leg calf muscles got swelled, so I couldn't even run
Mm.
last, I think like 10 kilometers. I couldn't do. I was stretch myself, I was jog walk, I pushed myself, because I want to be in top 5, otherwise I will not get the world championship.
Mm.
So I tried, I give my level best in running with all those pain, and
Mm.
I came sixth. That's how I got the slots to qualify in world championship.
Right, right, right.
That is the first 70.3.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you did pretty decently in the world championship as well, I
yes,
think. Hmm?
I definitely I wanted to thank you, because without you this hill doesn't went well, gone well. Because I came to Nandi. I know I'm very weak in hill session. You asked me to do 2 loops there.
Right,
Even another loop you asked. No, no, coach, I can't do it, because I was traveling and I was
right.
sleeping in the car. I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
wash my face, so I can't do it on that day.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the
But
next day,
yeah, Rakesh was driving you, and you guys arrived in the morning directly to Nandi Hills, I guess.
Nandi Hills.
And with that kind of very little sleep, you guys did the you did the practice on the hill, and he was trailing you on the car again, and he had no rest as well.
He had lot of patience. He was, I'm seeing like for 5 years now,
Yeah,
so he had very patient.
yeah,
Because I'm not choosing my dream, they were dreaming like the my dream. They are
right,
living with my dream.
yeah,
So I just wanted to do more for them, but I'm just working with, this is not going to be the end, so I
right,
want to keep more.
yeah, yeah,
And we did some 2 3 days Nandi, 2 days Nandi, and one day is like 100 kilometers. I
mm,
just completed 80 kilometers because I want to rush, because because I need to reach the time to Chennai to spend time with my son. So that's how I left the place on that moment.
right.
And and you suggest me to uh, do in Ruby, so that helped me a lot. Up talking about the course, to
Mm,
learn how the hill event will be. So 2 climbs and everything. The course taught, Ruby taught me to memorize myself. So this part, this sport will be hill. Every kilometers I was noticed, and where I'm lagging, everything I was learning. But in doing in Ruby is really tough.
yeah,
I sincerely I'm telling you, I don't know whether I will complete the cutoff if while practicing in Ruby.
correct.
And I talked to you that I'm going for the Elagiri. I can't come to Nandi because it's again long
Right,
journey.
yeah,
This is like 4 hours. So I went through the Elagiri. Like it is like something around 12 and a half kilometers Elagiri.
correct,
So if I do up and down, like uphill, if I do 3 loops, then only that 45 kilometers, I can complete nice course. So
correct,
first day I completed two loops. I couldn't complete 3 loops on that type. So I just planned for the next day session. 3 loops I've completed. So I was just getting confident. when you do a lot of hill sessions there.
Right.
So that moment is, I motivate myself. I never fear, because all the fear gone through in Cairns. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking confident. I wanted to finish because doing Ironman 70.3 or Ironman here, the World Championship cutoff is entirely toughest task, like me,
Right.
not like the
No,
pro
the course
athlete or
itself is very tough.
very tough.
The
And you
knees.
suggest me to do with roadie, not in TT bike.
That is that is very important because of the sheer number of climbs and the descents for that course.
Yes,
It is very very tough to do it on a TT bike because the aggressive nature of the bike doesn't allow you to uh, put proper power while climbing, but more than that it is the descent that is going to be very dangerous in on an aggressive bike to control the bike.
yes.
So we talked about that, and my suggestion was to do it on a road bike, and I think that kind of paid off as well for you.
Yes, definitely, definitely, coach. Because while practicing in Elagiri, also I was controlling myself, doing in all those things. I prepared myself. The descending will be more tough than what I'm doing here. Nice will be more tough. I
Yeah,
realized that.
yeah, yeah.
And once we went there, you asked me to do like 3 hours or something, like we went through like top 45 kilometers. And I don't know whether I need to come back in the same route, because I was wearing the earphone. I was checking because always my husband was feeding me to following me. But that time my husband didn't come. I was mapping myself, I was riding self. And I was just enjoying the ride. I was realizing where I'm lagging, where I'm in the uphill, where I'm losing myself. And downstate, again, I have to come down to the same way. But I decided that why don't we go in the same route as a course map.
Hmm.
So I went there. I was shocked. The downhill was really horrible. So
Hmm.
we need to be very strong, and mind should work a lot in descending.
Right.
So, and what happened is I missed the way. Somehow it was like in the shortcut route, it was there descending. I was going again uphill. The kids were shouting, you should go this way. In that language, I don't know what they are speaking. I
French.
really, oh, I'm going alone. Somebody is shouting, no, 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 I can go in this way. And again, I'm riding uphill. And then I went, somehow catch my hotels, and I reached early morning. I started, but I reached near about 5 o'clock. And I fell down from the bike because I didn't have any breakfast, lunch. There is no hotel at all. I had two bottles of energy drink, and I surveyed with some chocolates. That's it.
It is not ESR, right? To easier to have some roadside hotel and all. So,
And next, and I'm not happy with what I have done with the full course, because the cutoff time is like something like 4.5 or 5 hours something.
hmm.
But I done with all full day. So I was just checking my Strava, all the climbs,
Hmm.
whether I matched with, and again the Ruby climbs also I have the data. Both I have checked. Okay, tomorrow again I'm not going to write full course,
Hmm.
just first climb. If I complete the first climb properly, then everything will go pakka, that we decided. And second day morning I went there. The I think 30 percentage grade, I think, in the first climb.
Hmm.
So I all with the calculations I completed. I came happily to the hotel, and I said I'll finish my bike course as well as within the cutoff I can complete 70.3.
Right.
That's how I started on the next day event. According to the plan, we just executed. And I didn't put pressure on my mind. Everybody was moving. Even 50 years, 60 years old lady was moving forward with me with the TT bike.
Yeah.
I'm riding. I can't go. That is the maximum I can give. But
Right.
successfully, I completed within 20 minutes before the cutoff. I completed. So the
That.
most toughest
Yeah.
one. 70.3.
That is a very very tough course, and you did remarkably well with the kind of practice you had. Uh,
And
the
without you, it will not happen, because the advising of doing in hill and groovy, it won't happen, coach. It's
Yeah.
all the credit goes to you always.
No, no. So there is it's always a teamwork, right? When you are working with a coach, it's always a teamwork because
Yes,
we discuss something, what are the needs of the race, and then we plan accordingly. And but the end of the day, you are the one who is putting the power to the pedal, right? So it is always a teamwork. We can plan all we want, but unless you
yes.
execute, nothing will work.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
so
That's
you
correct.
have done the
That is two-way communication, because I trust your plan, I trust your advice. Because many of them told me that you can take TT bike, because I have seen so many triathletes. Only the three women's, I think so. We took roadie, but
mm,
that too, you suggest the advice is at last the safety is important, right?
right,
So we executed in that way. So we should trust our coach. That is the main thing in this part.
right,
Because none of the coach were not going to do any wrong things.
right.
So I thoroughly, whatever you gave the plan, I thoroughly enjoy. And any doubts you are ready to share at the time. So I'm pretty happy with working with you, coach.
I likewise, and that, as I said, we were a team and we kind of planned and executed well together there. And the again, your team with Rakesh, helping you, being there, driving you around and taking care of all the stuff in the background is also very very important.
Yes.
And I appreciate you guys for that. And
Even now, my son was shouting. He woke me in last 2 3 weeks before. I wanted to ride 1 kilometer, 120 kilometers ride. I told them that I wanted to get up by 3 o'clock. The alarm was ringing, but I couldn't wake up. He immediately called me that the time is 3 o'clock. Get up, you need to ride, go for the run. Before day it is run. So I told him, you sleep, I'll go for the run. He didn't scold me. The second day for planning for ride, he started shouting, today you have a ride. Yesterday you are sleeping, sombers. Lazy fellow, he was shouting. No, I was shocked. Oh man, your father will shout at me now. You're alone. He sacrificing his sleep, and he wanted to do something. So I
yeah,
just, okay, come, let's go for the ride.
yeah, he's your
That's how
biggest
we went.
cheerleader, so he has that right to get you out of the bed.
Yes,
Good,
definitely, coach.
good. So how, going back a little, how hard was this decision to quit the job and take it up, like take up sport full time?
Yes, coach. So it's really, I took a hard decision, because till Barcelona I can able to manage, because morning 4 o'clock I need to wake up, and I had to do with before 6:30 I have to complete all my session, whether it is cycle or running. And 7:15 I have to catch up my bus, because only in the bus I can sleep properly.
Hmm.
So I do all these things, and evening I'll come back and I'll do run session. And one certain period I thought that traveling, like sleeping in the bus, it holds like 1 hour in the traffic. So I took the bike. So will extra 1 hour or half an hour I'll do practice, and I'll travel to bike, so I can reach before 8:30. I have to keep fingerprint before 8:30. I did all those things, and evening the plan for taking the bike is evening I can ride from my college to swimming pool. It's about 55 kilometers.
Hmm.
So I can do practice 2 hours there.
Hmm.
And again I have to come back. I'll reach at home by 8:30. So
Wow.
I never get tired. I mean, my mind doesn't get tired,
Hmm.
because I wanted to do something. I'm going for the international event. I want to
Right.
complete within the cutoff. This is how in my mind I was enjoying throughout the day. And finally, after completing 70, I mean, Barcelona, like I had a lot of pressures at college because they 100 people, I mean, professors are working, assistant professor working in one department, but I got lot of file works to do, admin works, like lot of aggregations works will be had. And they'll ask me to come on Saturday also to do, because Saturday Sunday only I can do peacefully.
Yeah.
I'll finish all the works on Friday because I don't want to join on Saturday.
Mm.
But these kind of work pressure I had, but my husband saw me all those things because I couldn't concentrate on the next preparation even. He told me, why don't you quit the job? I said, I'm earning huge package, so if I earn, then I can go for the event, because at least my money can go for the registration or traveling or purchasing some bikes, something. So he said, don't worry about the money, just go with your, if you are choosing this professional as a sports triathlon Ironman, you need to quit the job, or else you can't concentrate much on this. This is how this, because I need to take care of my family also, because the entire year, which when I started 16 17, all my husband took the pressure. He
Mm.
also didn't consider it as a pressure, but physically he's not good also. He
Mm.
didn't go for any playing for cricket or doing any fitness level. He used to take care of me and my son. I don't know how he managed all those things.
Right.
And my mom also shouted me, because wherever I'm going, I'll call my mom and dad to stay at home to take care of my son. So she was shouting like, you are troubling everyone, not for you, for your passion you are troubling everyone. Decide yourself whether you're quitting your job or quitting this. And really I took a hard decision, because one side I need money to travel to the Ironman, and hardly I took this decision, because family and my happiness and my passion is going to give happiness only this, not this
Right.
career.
Mm. Okay.
So that's how I decided.
Right. So now, but you have started another career in terms of you are now still again working athlete. You have started helping others in achieving their dreams. You have become a certified Ironman certified triathlon coach. And what are the things that how is this work that you are doing now helping or um, like hindering your own training?
Yes. Like after completing my Barcelona, many of them suggested me to do Ironman certified, but I'm not ready with that, because I just want to learn more thing from, because I learn each and every step by myself initial. Then in bike, I want to tell you that even I don't know how to change the gear. Srinath sir helped me lot, because many people laughed at me. I didn't even what is the front gear, what is the top. I don't know anything. If you give me the bike, I'll ride. That's
Yeah.
it. That is how my knowledge was there. So I don't want to go in, because this is also another thing. It's like business. So earning money also is there. So I don't want to enter into this Ironman certified course. And one period of time, many of them are asking for training here, because in Chennai, only few were doing. Even in the women, only 2 3 women were doing Ironman, and men, if you take, only few. Now the 70.3 once in India, 70.3 Goa last year 2019. So many Indian women and men were participating in the event.
Right.
Now it been like huge things, and I just want to bring whoever wants to do Ironman, they can do it.
Right.
So one of them was approached me. I said, okay, I can give training, and but I thought that it is not experience practical, uh, which gives you different things, but theoretically we need, because certified is very important when we do coaching.
Right.
And I want to learn what is there. It's
Yeah.
all about the thought between the interaction, that is communication and the friendship between the
Right.
trainees and the coaches.
Mm.
So I missed out the nutrition. I never had the nutrition properly, because whatever I had do cooking at home, I'll eat. I'll do all these things. All only in 2019, once I came to you, you suggest me to reduce the weight. You suggest me to go for the nutrition also. So that, because I had 2019, I had all the 4 events there. Every
Right.
2 months I had the event.
Right.
So with the proper nutrition, I can able to survive all the 4 events and without any injury, with strength session also.
Right.
So this course taught me the nutrition part. What is the carbs? What, how much proteins you need? That it's different learning experience.
Correct.
Even if I completed, also I need to learn again the same things,
Right.
and more about training with looking at others. One trainer came to me like, he can't even run for 500 meters.
Mm-hmm.
He just fell down from there, and next week he came to me, and I gave some tips and started giving workouts. Within 4 weeks he completed a 5 kilometers run.
Awesome.
I was happy. That is the biggest achievement. I can see the happiness on my face. And I asked him, like February, I had several events like ITF, Indian Triathlon Federation. Now was organizing, they planned for bringing the more young triathletes to participate in Asia and
Mm-hmm.
Asia and Commonwealth Games.
Right.
So they were deciding that, and I came to know that they were the ranking system, and we need to participate in all those things. I was encouraging my teammate also, who's young triathletes were there, like 18 years, 19 years. And I like only December they started swimming all, and within 2 months they completed the Olympic triathlon.
Mm.
And the guy which were telling, he knows swimming, but just 20 days I train him to finish the sprint category. He can't. He can do cycling, but
Mm.
running is struggling for 5 kilometers, and 750 meters swimming. I can't improve himself like within 20 days. It's hardly short duration for me to train him, but he completed the event. That is how the happiness is giving for me. So now, even he can't run for 500 meters. Now he is training for Ironman 70.3. Now I'm
Awesome.
just concentrating much on to finish the cutoff in
Right.
swimming. So cycling, running, he can manage, and equally I'm giving. And he's like about 35 years old, but he doesn't have any sports background. Just he trusts my plan, and he's seeing the improvement, and he's going. So that is what has happened now.
Very good, very good. It the joy that comes out of someone else's success is unparalleled, right? So that is very, very good that now you are experiencing that joy along with the joy of improving yourself as well.
Yes,
So
and my workout schedule is like different, and I was spending like half a day to give the workout schedule for each and every one. It took initially, I was like, oh, half an hour it is taking, no, half a day it is taking. I couldn't even spend time on Sunday, but every week I do analysis because they are new to them.
right,
I First of all, their health is very important. Whether my workouts is getting improvising, or it is anything has happened to them, that I should be responsible. So
right,
I was talking every week, and once they were getting strong, so now I'm just schooling myself,
yeah,
but
yeah,
just monitoring them, and I'm whatever the doubts, of course you were
yeah,
there,
yeah.
so
No, but
ready to help you.
yeah, but it's the same thing with like our training. As we do more of it, as we plan and execute, we get better. Even with coaching, it is something like that, right? As you do more and more, as you work closely with the trainees, as you communicate more, you'll understand their unique requirements, and you keep getting better at coaching as well. So
Yes,
I'm sure,
I'm just
yeah,
in the learning period. I'm just still learning each and every athlete, and but not much athlete. I don't want like 10 or 20 or 100, because even one I can, if I can bring one Ironman, that is a huge achievement for me. So
Yeah.
I'm not taking much people; it's more than enough.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I want them, because I'm pushing everybody else to do it, because they are interested. Their dream is that, but they have to take steps. I
Mm,
can't push each and every time to them.
right.
They
The,
should also took some interest.
yeah, the motivation has to be coming from them. You
Yes,
you can only give direction, but not the
yes,
motivation, right?
exactly.
I'm sure they would, because they are now seeing the effort and the kind of work you guys are putting, you, Abhirami, and others putting. I'm sure that these youngsters will learn from looking at all of you, especially the
And
now that Abhirami has won bronze at nationals.
yes,
That
yes,
that would be a huge inspiration for any, a lot of people, I'm
yes.
sure. And
And
I'm sure they
one
would.
more is,
Yeah.
I in triathlon, Indian Triathlon Federation was being very serious to bring the young triathletes.
Right.
And in ranking wise, like I am in the second ranking right now. I don't
Hmm.
know pretty sure what happened in the next 5 or 6 events,
Hmm.
but I'm fighting with 18 years old girls, 22 years old. My age is 35.
Right.
And and uh, I want more young triathletes to participate in this.
Right.
I'm not because next month there is a Asia Championship Cup,
Hmm.
and my name was there in the list. it, like it is like the category is like sprint category. I'm going to fight with the young triathletes, like
Yeah.
15 years.
Yeah.
That's how the spirit, all, because it's not easy for me to beat them, but
Hmm.
I'm trying at the most.
Right.
I
Yeah.
want all the young triathletes, when you get the opportunity, that's what I always tell, I'll have in my mind, because I missed the opportunity in national games in basketball. When they call me in association, when they are called me, I missed the opportunity to go there,
Right.
whether whatever may be. But that's why whenever I'm getting the opportunity to play the role, I'm doing that,
Yeah.
because
It's
I missed one time. I don't want to miss it, because
yeah.
now you the people are getting so many opportunities. They don't know how to focus. I don't They don't know. With the proper guidance, if they go, definitely they'll reach success.
Yeah, I'm sure with the inspiration that you guys are providing with your own performance and the guidance that you guys are offering as leaders in the community to guide these youngsters, I'm sure the next crop of young athletes will do well, and they are going to be in a much better place going forward. And thank you, Vinolee, for taking the time and sharing your journey and sharing your thoughts with
I should
everyone
say
at the
thank you
working.
so much, coach, for giving me this opportunity to reach the many triathletes and cyclists, because you are giving the fantastic opportunity to share all my personals and events and my experience. And with all your guidance, I'm living happy, coach. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you again.